Welcome to Elemental Flow Show, episode 10. I'm your host, Holly Dunaway, and here's your other host, JP Perez.
Hi.
So today's show, we wanted to talk about how we are nature. So why do we live like we're separate from it?
As of late, I think there's a direct correlation between technology, meaning our phones, and social media, for sure.
Yeah, you just mean like the amount of time spent there. We're not like actually out in the real world, out in nature. Instead, we're like in these four walls on these devices.
Yeah. And even if we're outdoors, we're still on these devices, checking Facebook, Instagram.
Right, we're not
emails.
Like taking in the nature around us and appreciating it.
Yeah, the fact that it's so portable and you're able to take it anywhere, if you would be in nature, you're going to be on the phone scrolling.
Right.
So it's just the accessibility and the portability of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, so do you think that you're still going to get the benefits, right, of being outdoors, though? But I think because of technology, people are spending less time outdoors getting sun and less time going for walks. There's a lot of health benefits just from walking through a forest.
Yeah.
And
I think being present when you're in nature has its own effect.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're in nature, you're walking, you're scrolling through your phone, but I think that peace, that feeling of peace, comes when you are present in nature and you allow yourself to be part of nature, not be plugged in mentally.
For sure. Because, what you focus on also has a calming effect on the mind. Like when you see water has a very relaxing, result whenever it's just in your view.
Yeah.
It has a calming effect on the brain and the central nervous system. Yeah.
And being, immersing yourself in water is like a cleansing.
Yeah, for sure.
Typically, salt water is something more natural, not just a swimming pool.
Yeah. But I think a swimming pool can kind of like cleanse your, it can cleanse your energy, for sure.
For sure.
And it cleanses you probably, even more than the salt water. The salt water is just healthier, but one's probably going to scrub you a little too clean, is the chlorine.
It takes away everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're going to cut right here. Do you think that we've become too clean?
To a point, I think so. Yeah, I think that the sun cleanses everything. Like the sidewalks, it's like a bleach. So I don't think outdoors has to be, cleaned. It's a self-cleaning technology.
So when you go outside and you play in the dirt and you get dirty, then you've got all these like healthy microbiomes and things that like boost your immune system. But like the average person now would just be like, oh, I'm dirty, I've got to wash my hands. And even if there is no dirt, you've got to wash your hands, constantly throughout the day. And
I don't feel dirty if have dirt on me. I feel dirtier if I'm like at a hospital or a place like that. That's when I feel like kind of self-conscious. I don't want to touch my face or touch anything because that's where, disease and bacteria live.
Yeah.
I don't, you could probably fall outside in the grass and lick the dirt and you'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably like little microscopic worms out there, because...
it's protein.
Yeah.
Do you feel that people go overboard with hygiene?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, speaking from someone who doesn't wear deodorant, a lot of people feel like I don't go overboard with hygiene.
Well, that's not necessarily hygiene. That's just choosing to wear a scent or not.
True. Yeah. I mean, keeping your armpits clean of bacteria so they don't smell is one thing. And then, blocking all of your pores in an area that you need to sweat and you have tons of lymph nodes in that area is another thing. I think it's become the culture to just block all your lymph node and pores in this area with aluminum.
Right.
You know, I mean, a lot of people have moved to the aluminum-free deodorants, but they don't work as much, and people are like, oh gosh, I can't apply it 2 or 3 times. I'll just do the cancer-causing stuff instead, because this takes too long.
I was doing the aluminum-free stuff for a while, and that, I ended up like, it would give me rashes. So I was like, well, it doesn't work that good, and it's giving me a rash. I'm just going to go without. I just kind of.
So you don't use deodorant at all either?
No, I just, freshen up midday, change my shirt out, and, we live in South Florida, so it's constantly hot.
Yeah.
And so I'll just, freshen up and change my shirt.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Do you use anything on your armpits besides just like cleaning them with soap?
No. Sometimes if I don't have soap readily available or a sink, I'll just use peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, I've heard peroxide.
Because in the end, what you're trying to do is get rid of the bacteria. So, replace one stink with another.
Yeah, it doesn't linger around too much though.
No.
But yeah, I think people do go a little bit overboard with hygiene, and you've got a different cleaner for everything in the shower. You've got one for your face, and one for down there, and one for your body and hair. It's a little bit overboard. I think that washing your hair too often is not a super healthy thing. Could cause like hair thinning even, and those natural oils are there to like protect your hair.
Yeah, and the flora on your skin as well is, if you take multiple showers a day, but sometimes you have to.
Right, but there's nothing you're washing off the skin protectant.
Right.
Yeah.
The natural oil, body oils, emollients, whatever you want to call them.
Right. And, if you wash off all your smells, how are you going to find your person? Supposedly, they say that we choose our person, our mate, based off of smell. It's something that, we think that we choose them based off of looks or personality, and those might be the things that, initially attract us. But I think the thing that confirms whether or not somebody is your person is if they stink to you, or if you just can't get enough of them. So I don't know, I agree with it a little bit. I agree with some science on that. I guess you can make studies say anything.
Yeah, it must be true if it's on the internet.
Right. I mean, but yeah, it's all about who's paying for the study, who has an invested interest, so everything that is called a fact, you've got to look at who's paying for that to be a fact, and and take everything with a grain of salt. Just inform yourself on as much as you can, and just make your own judgment calls on everything.
Yeah, you can make AI change its mind depending on how you phrase things.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
When it comes to sun protection, how do you approach that?
Well, not the same way that I used to approach it. I would wear sunglasses everywhere. And then I learned that there is something in your eye that when you're in direct sunlight, it senses that and therefore allows you to produce more melanin. And therefore you tan easier and don't burn as quickly. But if you wear sunglasses, it tricks your brain to thinking that you're indoors, and it doesn't produce any extra melanin. So you actually, by wearing sunglasses, you increase your chances of skin cancer. You by increasing your chances of burning. So I thought that was very interesting. And then you go down the rabbit hole of sunscreen and what is in that stuff.
Right.
And it's very toxic things. I guess the entire point of sunscreen is to create a barrier in between your skin and the sun, right? But what are you creating that barrier with? So there are natural, a little more healthy options for sure, but that's not what's on the shelf.
Something more mineral-based, like straight-up zinc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to find, straight zinc sunblock, but it's not easy to find.
Yeah, I found one recently that's made out of beef tallow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you're baking, you're kind of
right.
frying yourself. Making bacon.
Making bacon.
Yeah, lately for sun protection, I'll just dress, long sleeves, a hood, not like a hoodie, more like a plastic, and just, cover everything up. And, depending on what you're going to be doing, if you're doing yard work or
Yeah.
going to be out for multiple
So
hours.
just try to find shade, whether it's your hat creating
Create
the shade.
yeah. Yeah, that's the best method that I've found, because there were times, at work that you'd be outside on a scene and you're having to look almost directly into the sun, so you kind of need the sunglasses. It all depends on the situation.
Yeah, if you need to see, to
Yeah.
drive, or
Right.
then of course you need sunglasses.
So, otherwise, when the sun's setting or coming up, then you're driving towards the sun, in that direction, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Right.
So you need to
Yeah.
not hit bicyclists.
I haven't worn sunglasses in a couple of years because that little bit of information that I found, out about the melanin production, being activated with the eye. Ever since I found that, I was like, oh, okay, so sunglasses are bad, right? And I could just quit wearing them completely. And then I found out, like after a few months, that I didn't need them anymore. It's like my eyes adjusted. There are certain times, like you said, when you're driving and the sun is literally right there and your visor comes down and it's like, it's just not doing the job. It's like
you're trying to get taller in your seat.
Right, yeah, and you may not have all the options to get your seat taller.
Yeah.
So, so I noticed my eyes did adjust, but it would be a good idea to
Everything
pair of
with measure.
sunglasses.
I think everything with measure, because
Exactly.
there's also conditions from too much sun exposure on your sclera.
Yeah.
That, will create like these little bumps, and that's from not, too much sun exposure. So, everything with good measure, if you're going to be out there for many hours,
Yeah.
take measures to protect yourself. Like the Eskimos back in, up north, they wore those little slit things to prevent snow blindness, because the sun will hit the snow and reflect.
Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of using the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah. Getting natural sunlight is a whole lot better than getting artificial sunlight, especially when you're talking about ultraviolet light.
Ultraviolet.
Violet, oh. I did go there, didn't I?
Trying to stay away from violence here.
Ultraviolet light. It really is,
It's like
though.
really bright.
It's very violent on the effects of your brain and your mood.
Yeah.
It affects, how your brain releases chemicals.
Yeah. It does, it prevents chemicals from getting released. If you spend too much time in fluorescent light, it tricks your body into a different circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
You're up late, let's say you work in a hospital setting, you got those white lights 24/7.
Those aren't healthy. I know that they're cost effective and hospitals are large and they need to, not be spending money on nice
Mood
little
lighting.
on mood lighting. I get it. But the way they took like linen out of hospitals when it's like proven to heal. It's the one fabric that bacteria can't live on, and it's proven to heal. And the way that they have proven that these fluorescent lights, cause damage to the brain, and they still, in every hospital, have these lights and then put the plastic polyester sheets on things. It's just like, are you guys setting yourselves up for a future patient? Are you doing this on purpose? Or are you that hard up? It's like a little bit frustrating to me.
I think it's a corporate machine just trying to make everything as efficient and cost effective as possible.
Yeah, efficient, no.
Follow the money.
Yeah, cost effective, yes.
In the end, at first, but then it'll translate into money spent down the road on other things. So, that's another rabbit hole.
Yeah, for sure. Linen is a very healing fiber. It has a frequency of 5,000, making it like one of the highest frequency any sort of like material that we wear and put on our clothes. It's made of 100% flaxseed. They used to use it in hospitals. It was very healing. And I think the second highest frequency, most healing fabric would be silk. And then I think that one might have a frequency, and I don't want to quote wrong, but other natural fibers that can be somewhat healing, but maybe, not on the same level as just cotton.
Yeah, anything natural.
Yeah, anything natural, for sure.
Nothing polypropylene or elastic or anything like that.
For sure, because I watched how they make polyester. I was watching how they make like a polyester shirt, and they are literally melting plastic, and then like, how you melt plastic and then you like pull it apart and it's stringy. So they're taking like those strings of melted plastic and they're like weaving it in between, cotton fibers and weaving it together. So it's like half, something kind of natural and then half literal plastic. So, everything leaches over time. And if you're out in the sun and you're wearing something polyester, then, it is, that plastic is slowly leaching into your skin as the sun heats it and you sweat, it's going into your pores.
And there's reports that we have, I believe a plastic teaspoon's worth of plastic in our brain alone.
Wow.
Yeah, and that starts to make you think, how long have I been, using workout wear, and my uniforms at work were made out of, polyester. So, some things have a function, but at what cost?
Yeah. And drinking out of plastic water bottles is no different. And everything leaches and breaks down. And we've just, it's not a big deal because it's just traces of microplastics. But then it adds up over time.
Sure. A lifetime.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day that people in the 40s and the 50s had no plastic in their bodies. Zero.
Wow.
It was after,
bottling water and selling it back. Selling things that were once free to us.
Yeah.
It's like used to, we didn't poison the water and it was free. And now you get an annual quality water report and it's like, oh, y'all put 70 different things in my water that are carcinogens and poison. And you're not even trying to hide it. Okay. Well, at least there's transparency, so you feel like, all right, so maybe I'll just put a filter on it or something, but.
Well, it's just so hard to control nowadays. There's so much development and runoff, and, it just, things get into the groundwater, so it's, where do we get our water from now? It's another question for the future.
Right, but when you look at the amount of pharmaceuticals that's in it, then you have to go, wow. They're feeding me back my toilet water. That's a little, here we go off the deep end again.
We have to go and harvest like frozen ice balls from space and bring them in.
Yeah, maybe, the melting glaciers, maybe we could go chip off a little bit of that and bring it back to.
It's in the atmosphere. All the pollutants and carcinogens, they go up into the atmosphere and it rains or snows and that ends up on the glaciers too.
That's a whole, and rainwater, you test that, it's full of aluminum.
Yeah.
And, other harmful things, lithium, barium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta move to Mars.
Oh, man. We're just really toxic creatures, aren't we? But,
on a lighter note.
On a lighter note, you just make yourself aware of all the things, but then you stop yourself from worrying about all the things, and you just, enough to protect yourself. And if you can't do something about it, don't worry about it. Do the best you can.
Do the best you can.
Yeah. Because worrying's not good either.
Right. Another thing that has a determining factor on our health is what we consume. Our food, that's probably one of the biggest things. If you take in something that's ultra processed, your body doesn't know what to do with it 9 times out of 10. So it'll trick your body into thinking that it's still hungry even though you downed a plate full of food.
And when you say ultra processed, do you mean just not something of nature? Something with a lot of like chemicals added to it and a lot of chemical processes?
Yeah, I spend, when I go to the grocery store, I'm a label reader, and I use that Yuka app.
Yeah. What's that
We're not sponsored by them or nothing, but I use it. You can scan any barcode and it'll give you the breakdown, the nutritional breakdown of that product.
Yeah.
And it'll give you the additives that are in it, and you can, touch on the additives and it'll tell you the problems that it causes in your body, like bone mineralization and...
That seems exhausting.
Yeah, but if you're concerned with, what you're putting in your body,
right,
that's where it starts. Unless
so your grocery list started changing after you did this, obviously, right? Because now you know what's in everything.
Before I was, I've always been very cognizant of what I eat, but with that, just because something's organic or gluten-free or whatever, it means nothing.
Yeah.
Because you look at the list of ingredients, and that'll tell you the tale of what's going on.
And a lot of ingredients, they're not in there for any sort of health reason whatsoever. It's in there to prevent it from going bad or make it make it a consistent texture or color. Because I think it's a proven marketing technology to market certain colors of foods to us, and so they put a lot of the very harmful, like red 40, yellow 5, or maybe I'm confusing those.
Red 40, yellow 5, blue some, I don't know. Sounds like a recipe for who knows what. But I just try to find, if for some reason my phone dies or something, I just look for the cleanest list of ingredients or the shortest list of ingredients.
Yeah.
And try not to buy anything out of a box.
Yeah.
Stay on the edges of the supermarket, on the periphery, where there's milk, eggs, meat, fish. The middle aisles are basically a lot of garbage.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like you got to pick your poison, because sometimes instead of coloring food with like artificial dyes, they'll use in the ingredients, they have another name for it, but one word will be like cochineal. And it's like crushed up cockroaches, and they get this like red color out of it, and they use it in a lot of major brands. Yeah, so I guess it's like healthier for us since it is like of nature. So your body, since we are nature, knows how to, it breaks down things that are natural. So it's better than something synthetic that it might stay in your body forever, because your body doesn't exactly know how to break it down.
Yeah, as long as those cockroaches are, scrubbed down with some antibacterial soap.
Oh, you really think they took a bath first?
No? Like a good boiling dip or something? No?
Probably.
Or they just bake it clean. Set it to 500 and...
I'm sure there's some sort of like washing process.
They bathe the cockroaches.
Oh gosh, we have to change the subject. Let's talk about something more positive. So we have some things coming up that I want to tell you guys about. So on the 24th of August, we're doing a floating sound bath in Sunrise. And, we can fit maybe like 15 people in the pool on floating rafts very comfortably while we play gongs and Native American flutes and maybe like 15 different instruments. And lots of healing meditation and medicine music around everyone. It's a nice
decompression.
Nice decompression. And then we have another one on Hollywood Beach. We do this one every full moon, and that one is, you want to tell them a little bit about that one? It's the 29th of August.
It usually centers right around the full moon, and it's on Hollywood Beach off of Virginia Street. And it's right on the sand. If you go to the boardwalk, find parking anywhere that's near Virginia Street, and you'll see us on the sand. So come and join us.
Yeah, it's like feet away from the waves, so it's a different element than floating. And, you know, at night you're floating and you're surrounded by like fire tiki torches and candles, and on the beach you're feet away from the waves, so that has its own very calming, you know, ambience. And then you've got like the breeze coming off of the ocean also, which keeps it nice and cool.
Yeah.
And one thing I like about doing the ones on the beach is like when everybody's in the pool, I can't get that close to people because I have to like walk around the outside edge of the pool and play my little interesting sounds, and I can't mess with people quite the same way. But when we're on the beach, I can like get, you know, I can play this little noise here and this little noise here, and, you know, try to keep you in presence, keep you from dozing off during the meditation. And yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. It's just, what are you doing? Can I have it? Thank you. Yeah, Maya's entertaining us. So, yeah, you can find out more about our sound baths on elementalflowshow.com. All right, we'll cut there, and then let's shoot.
Ready.
All right. Well, thank you for another episode. This just flew by today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll see you next week, 8 o'clock every single Thursday Eastern Time on YouTube and Spotify podcast. So, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Namaste.